I understand, and I'm going to let you talk about it, but I understand there's a really big deal thing happening that involves China right now and prophecy, and you're telling me that this is one of the most important weekends in recent prophetic history, that there's going to be a paradigm shift after this weekend, and this story is getting big and getting bigger and big. Dive in, Mike Shoesmith.
Yes, no, after this weekend, Carl, when people refer to Bible prophecy, when people speak of it at their dinner tables or in the truck stops or whatever on the radio, from henceforth they will now speak of Bible prophecy pre this weekend and after this weekend. I promise you, this weekend is huge.
Okay.
So just a little backstory here. If we go to Daniel 7, we learn about this end time global government that will be around at the time of the end. The angel said to Daniel, because Daniel says to the angel after it's all over, what does all this mean? What are you talking about? He's showing him all these visions of this and that, and the angel said, Daniel, just seal up the book. It's not for you. It's for the people who are alive at the time of the end, or the end time. That's where the word end time comes from. When is the end time? Well, the end time is the last of the last days. We've been in the last days for, hundreds or thousands of years. The end time is the end game, the last of the last days. So Daniel seals up the book, but in Daniel 7, we see this imagery he was given of these nations that would be prominent on the earth at the time of the end, the last of the last days. The first was like a lion, and it had eagle's wings, and the wings were plucked off and lifted up from the earth and stood up and upon the feet of a man, and a man's heart was given to it. Hello, Uncle Sam. There we see the birth of the United States of America, the lion being Great Britain. And the next one was like a bear. The bear is Russia. And then the final one is like a leopard. We know that the leopard represents Germany. And there's more we can say about that. If you want to know why we think that the leopard is Germany, ppsimmons@live.com.
Yeah, and let me just say, and there are a lot of biblical scholars going back several hundred years that also say the same thing. But anyway, go ahead.
Right, and Germany is the de facto head of the European Union. So here we have this global order. And then finally, the last fourth beast, dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly. So there we go. So then we fast forward to Revelation 13, where we see these symbols appear again. The first was like a leopard. The beast was like a leopard, his feet, the feet of a bear, the mouth of a lion. Okay? So what is the lion saying today? In the mouth of a lion, I have surmised that is basically the one world global government will speak sort of like English. English will be the prominent language because the one world government will need a one world language. And now that one world language has really become English. If you go to school in China, you're learning English. If you want to be a teacher in China, you have to know English. Do you have to know Chinese when you go to school in the United States? No. But you do have to learn English everywhere else on Earth if you want to do global commerce. So what's happening today, BBC, by the way, the BBC, the British Broadcasting Corporation, their motto is the world's radio station. Hello? Yeah. The world's radio station is reporting that the G20 summit this year is happening in China. Not only in China, but in a place called Hangzhou, China. That is very significant, as we'll see in a moment. But the BBC, the world's radio station, the mouth of the lion, is saying that in this triumphal narrative, only China is a reliable engine of growth, its politics less populist, its leadership farsighted. Let me go back here a little bit. You'll notice in Revelation 13 that the eagle is not listed there anymore. And I have been saying for many years, as have many other scholars, that this will be the result of one of two things, not both, one of two. It will either be that the United States rebels against the one world government and refuses to take part in it, or the United States is destroyed militarily by an outside power. Okay? Now, a lot of this will be decided this November, by the way. I mean, you can imagine Donald Trump is talking exclusively about making America great again, tariffs, and
and he's saying we're not going to be connected to the global agenda.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. So if he becomes president, we may see that particular prophecy fulfilled in a positive way. That the United States becomes strong and isolates itself from the one world government. Good for them. because the other possibility is too horrible to contemplate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, getting back to the mouth of the lion speaking here, the world's radio station, they're saying in this triumphal narrative, only China is it. Now this is the British Broadcasting Network saying this, that only China is a reliable engine of growth, its politics less populist, its leadership far-sighted. In other words, they see the long game here.
Mm-hmm.
According to the official China news agency, it is now time to take that leadership global. Mm-hmm. The host is ready to share its time-honored wisdom on up-to-date solutions with the world. Put bluntly, China hopes the world will look back and identify the Hangzhou G20 as the moment when China looked like a better guardian of global economic governance than a U.S. paralyzed by poisonous politics at home and handicapped by distractions abroad. China is looking at this weekend, as a pre-this weekend, post-this weekend global government situation. And that's the way China is looking at it.
And on top of that, Mike, Obama is getting ready to hand the internet governance over to China and Russia.
You know what? It's just amazing. But it gets even more amazing, Carl, because the meeting is being held in Hangzhou, China. Hangzhou, China is home of Jack Ma. Jack Ma is CEO of Alibaba. Mm-hmm. What is Alibaba? Mm-hmm. Alibaba is the world's largest e-commerce company. The world's largest, not China's largest, the world's largest e-commerce company. Yep. Okay? G20 leaders are preparing to meet this weekend in Hangzhou, where Ma founded this giant in 1999, and he's going to be a major speaker at this thing. For his part, he believes that globalization hasn't gone far enough, Carl. Mm-hmm. He said international trade must now be improved so that more people can enjoy its benefits. Ma is hoping to, pitch G20 leaders on, get this now, an electronic world trade platform. Okay? Now, what have we been talking about for months here? This electronic system whereby everyone will be required to take this if they want to buy or sell, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. This biometric system, this chipping system, where everybody will be required to take this. I'm telling you, this weekend is the turning point prophetically. Whoever's driving that car is about to bury the gas pedal into the floor here.
Yeah, and you see, only those of us that are really watching and tying together the convergences of biblical prophecy and biblical technology will get this, because what's going to happen, all of this is going to be in the news. People are going to be talking about it from the economic and social and, cultural aspects and the global versus nationalistic aspects. And then it'll just kind of fade away and people will go back to mowing their grass and eating and drinking and giving in marriage. And then, boom, right. Their lives will be sucked up in this. And then demands will be placed upon them. And then they'll say, didn't we hear Mike Shoesmith say something about this a couple of years ago? Yeah, right. That's how this is going to unfold, Mike.
And I'll close with this before the first break here, Carl. It's just a brief sentence here. This is crucial. It's crucial that the audience hears this. This is coming from this Jack Ma guy, the mm-hmm. leader of the largest e-commerce company on earth. He says, quote, "We need solutions for young people to leverage the technology we have so that they can what? So that they can buy anywhere, sell anywhere, and trade anywhere." He said, "If you want to get involved, just join." Yeah. That is shocking. That is shocking because he's promoting this. The Bible says in Revelation 13, if you don't take on this marking system, you will not be able to buy or sell anywhere.
Yeah, and
nobody will buy or sell, and he's using that language.
No, it's funny. A couple of decades ago, when the internet first kind of came upon the scene, as far as being used by people in their residences, I know a lot of people said that's the mark of the beast. The www, the three W's right. represent the 3 6s, and on and on. And,
right.
and of course, people laughed. Even I laughed at that. I didn't mock the people that said it, but how could we have known that, listen to what it's called, the World Wide Web. How could
right.
we have known that we would all be caught up in this web, this matrix, that would demand
right.
of us one day that we can buy, sell, and as long as we have their mark?
The Tower of Babel has been rebuilt.
I know.
And we're all speaking one language. We all have one purpose. And I'm telling you, folks, this is it. The end time is not coming. The end time is now.
Yeah.